The adoption of XDC network is not hype driven, it is adoption driven, folks. This global adoption is growing as we're speaking, folks. This is Samoa DeFi over here. Enigio is TradeFi's best kept secret on XDC. No token, no hype, just enterprise grade DLT. It is trusted by Lloyds, JPM, Oracle, Commerce Bank, talking about cutting an $11 billion trade dock problem by 99.99%, all built on XDC. So look at this, folks. Build on XDC, build it on XDC, paperless trade adoption. We're talking about Oracle, big tech integration. Oracle has integrated Enigio Trace, Commerce Bank, cross-border corridors. Commerce Bank was involved in a cross-border trade across Germany and China, alongside Siemens in this case, JP Morgan, infrastructure digitalization. JP Morgan had selected Enigio as the platform for the banking giant to begin offering digital bills of exchanges. So many different names over here, folks. This is Lloyds making history. Lloyds was the first bank to invest and use Enigio. The two have since executed the first ever UK ETDA compliant digital trade via using Enigio. So all point out to how XDC network infrastructure is growing and how different renowned stakeholders are now getting involved. By the way, folks, Tokenizer posted this merely 10 minutes ago. Always active, always fruitful. As we know, Enigio and XDC ties both these industry leaders together. Oracle and JP Morgan partnered for trade finance innovation. Oracle equals Enigio in Oracle Financial Service. JPM equals used Enigio for EBOE and EBL. This is what we're talking about. And folks, we oftentimes cover QNT. XDC network community needs to look at what QNT is doing as well, because it is also ISO 20022 compliant. There can be multiple winners in this space, folks, and vice versa. I ask the Quant community and other communities to look into good, decent projects, good utility gems to see where there is gap and vacuum for collaboration, folks. So yeah, let's not forget QNT is not only Oracle's entire blockchain infrastructure, XDC is involved over here as well. Back in 2022, Quant had already integrated XDC into the Overledger ecosystem. Awesome, folks. At the time, it seemed quite strange given that Quant had largely only added the large capped chains Polkadot, Polygon, Avalanche. So even at that time, Quant truly believed in what XDC network stands for, and vice versa. XDC knew the capabilities of Quant. So this is a really, really great partnership over here that we can see a glimpse of. Let's hope that there is much more collaboration between good, decent projects and businesses in the future as well. At the time, XDC was seen as much smaller, and seeing Quant add them made it seem like there must have been some reasoning behind it. Obviously, folks. So we're not just talking about digital documents, but global, borderless financing for trade finance and digital payments. When we fast forward and see where the trade finance is going, we can see the fingerprints of XDC and XDC all over it. This is why Quant believed in it. And given how both Oracle and JP Morgan have are preparing for enterprise DLT respectively, I got a feeling this partnership is the start of new beginning. These are the hints: trade finance shifting into DLT, Oracle and JP Morgan adopting DLT. Then we're talking about Quant and XDC tied to both entities. And ultimately, both XDC and Quant seem to be tied to one another as well. So this is a really match made in heaven, folks. Quant and XDC. Yeah, awesome. JP Morgan Payments launches cutting edge supply chain finance solution with Oracle. Awesome. Let's see the highlighted part. FedEx, JP Morgan Payments, and Oracle worked together to create a new feature that incorporates JP Morgan Payments SCF functionality directly within Oracle Cloud ERP via Oracle's B2B. Awesome, folks. Native USDC on XDC is already making waves. In just 1 week, XDC outpaced XRP, proving real world finance is choosing scalable, cost efficient trails. Folks, now this is a sort of a cult mindset over here. I do not like when two good projects that are doing some good for this space. They want to focus on utility, they want to focus on user centric approach. We shouldn't be comparing them with one another, even if one outpaces the other. In one way, XRP has a huge market cap in comparison. So one might say the XRP community that you shouldn't compare it with XRP, etc. But we should be looking at space, like I told you guys, the gaps for collaboration, how we can bring this industry, how we can better this industry, basically. So yeah, how much louder can XDC signal go? XDC isn't hype, it is global adoption in motion, folks. This is what we're talking about. Japan, UAE, Brazil, Europe, globe. The global adoption is here. We're talking about trade finance, regulation, real world demand. Awesome. Enigio again. Enigio is the best kept secret on XDC. No token, no crypto hype. Lloyds Bank, JP Morgan, Oracle, Commerce Bank. We saw this. Okay, so this was from Tokenizer, this post over here. Really interesting post. Tokenizer always coming up with some awesome posts, folks. So we already went through this, how XDC network is collaborating with these giants. BlackRock, look at this, is actively leveraging XDC for real world assets. It is connected with XDC through Securitize as well. We've covered it. In August 2025, BlackRock partnered with XDC Network to build infrastructure for tokenizing RWAs. So, folks, RWA narrative, it won't stop in the short haul. This is here for decades, if not half a century from where we are. It might cap around half a century or even more than that, folks. We do not know because this is a huge market that calls tokenization, be it real estate, be it global trade, documents, you name it, everything can be tokenized. In Feb 2025, XDC launched four money market fund tokens with RChex, including funds from BlackRock, all tokenized on XDC network, folks. This is what we're talking about. The RWA tokenization platform of XDC supports various asset classes, including US Treasuries, trade finance, and real estate. Meanwhile, like I told you guys, that Securitize is a leading tokenization platform. It supports XDC among its top four supported networks, and it is deeply involved with BlackRock. So the connections are there, and XDC network just needs to capitalize, and it will take over not only Wall Street and the NYSE, but the global adoption will happen soon for XDC if they continue to grow. Look at this. Quant again, XDC hbar, three official enterprise DLTs handpicked by Swift. Folks, this is the highest level of finance, and XDC being picked for it is huge because XDC, according to this, is proving itself as the real world finance engine, folks. The real world trade finance engine. I mean, huge for what it is doing. These are the tokens, the utility gems that we oftentimes cover and talk about. XLM, XDC, QNT, Flare, XPR, we've covered them. This is great. XRP, HBAR. Institutional interoperability equals more on-ramp demand, better on-chain, off-chain data compatibility, network utility plus real payment use cases. We're talking about regulatory and corporate friendliness, and then we're talking about concentrated shortlist to research. These coins, folks, they are not here for the hype. They are here to change the global paradigm of finance. XDC official posted this. Look at this. Ritesh Kakkar on XDC Network's global expansion, stablecoins, and DATCO future. Let's check this out. This is 17 minutes long, but let's look at the chunk of it to see what's happening. This is interesting, folks. You have to check the entire video out yourselves.
And getting back to your question, what trend I see in New York or in Wall Street in general. So one trend was very exciting was around Genius Act. So Genius Act has been passed in the parliament. With together, there is another act which was around anti-surveillance of CBDC Act. If you combine both these acts, you will find there is a clear regulatory framework for stable coins. And during that time, Circle's IPO was out, and even Wall Street was like curious what might be the response of these circles because it's innovative products of a stable coin. But after Circle got listed with the New York Stock Exchange, everybody knows price jumped from $30 to $300 within no time. So stablecoin looks to be a trending topic within the New York community, and many large organizations they want to get into the stablecoins, uh, participation. And when we look at as XDC, we are the perfect layer one infrastructure for stablecoin. Might be like three reasons what I see from the institution side. One is about low transaction fee. It's very much required for a micro transaction. Second part is uh, it's a fastest. So our transaction time with XDC is just 2 seconds. So it's very required to settle any transaction as early as possible. And third thing, ESG factor, which I was not very much aware, but when I started talking to the people, I realized that people look at energy sustainability's part, and the basic infrastructures of XDC is designed in a way where we consume almost 99% less energy compared to proof of work based networks like Bitcoin. So that is one trend I see around stablecoin. Another important trend which just become a very popular is around a digital asset treasury company. So they call a DATCO. It's a very simple structure where Warren Buffett started Berkshire Hathaway 40 years back, and Berkshire Hathaway used to hold stocks like McDonald's or Coca-Cola, and it's become one of the biggest company in the world. Similarly, the new trend is around companies called Detco. They are holding digital assets, whether it's a Bitcoin or Ethereum or XDC. So Detco, like it's already listed. It's like listed entity with the stock market like New York Stock Exchange or a Nasdaq, and they hold digital asset as assets, and they try to monetize those money. Like they try to get yield on digital assets. They try to put money into DeFi and try to get additional yield. So this trend is become a very popular. So in short, two trend is very popular. One is a stable coin, another is Detco. So this is the in thing within the New York community currently.
Lovely updates. Thank you for that feedback. And I've heard that you're also, I mean, we are also setting up a
Course, we like to go for ETF or DETCO. So we are talking continuously with the people from Wall Street and trying to see what is the best for XS ecosystems.
Right, perfect. So yes, as you mentioned, ETF does make sense because we just released XDC ETP in Europe. Now talking about .co, it's a lot to process, right? But your explanation helped shed some light about what .co is and why it matters. Now I want to take it to another step.
Okay.
In .co, does XDC Foundation is ready to move towards this structure, or how does XDC ecosystem fit in that model?
I think, Rebecca, this is a very great question, but I like to clarify I am not as a XDC founder, but I am not part of XDC Foundation. Of course, I see a trend. All the Web3's foundation, they are dying and they are moving towards DETCO structures. For XDC Foundation, I think that's the right way to go. Convert XDC Foundation to XDC Datco properly. And but again, I can just give advice. I cannot interfere into the working of XDC Foundation because it's run by like XDC community members itself. So of course, I will advise to go for Detco structures, convert XDC Foundation to Detco, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, perfect. So that code not just it opens to the traditional institution or investors, but it also allows access to capital and of course a new growth avenue for the XTC. So I think this is where stable coins like USDC come in. And a huge congratulations to all of us when Circle released the announcement that they are deploying or supporting XTC network. So what do you think? I mean, what is the importance?
So, folks, what do you guys think about this race for global adoption in which so many good utility projects are involved? Be it Quant, XDC, all good stakeholders involved. I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.